Hi, welcome. Hope you can hear me okay. I like to talk kind of softly when I'm in this practice, so I apologize if it's hard to hear. I'll try to remember to speak with a voice that you'll be able to actually hear in this video. It's a new moon night, and we've got a candle lit, a little tea, and I am out here in my kitchen. Because it is the new moon in January of 2025, January 29th to be exact, and I don't have heat in my studio space where I do most of my work in the warmer weather, so I've been kind of doing things that don't require me to be in there, which is kind of hard, but making adjustments. We'll be celebrating the midpoint between winter and spring here this coming weekend. So honoring that transition and kind of mindfully, slowly, and carefully, steadfastly stepping out of the winter hibernation. We'll see. I think there's not a lot planned out for February either, so lots more dreaming to do as we enter the season here out of Aquarius, or into Aquarius rather. Okay, so and then I guess it's Pisces, so yeah, very very big time for dreaming up some new ideas. So I hadn't done a reading in a while for collective, but I was out giving readings recently, and there were collective threads that were running through all of each of the readings, which I always find quite amazing, specifically the Eight of Wands card. So I do find that there will probably be something in that for anyone who may be finding this video. If it does resonate, if this, what I'm saying resonates, then, take it as you will. Don't try to make it fit into a box if it's not working for you. It doesn't have to apply to something that's going on today. It could be in the past, it could be in the future, or it could be within multiple sort of dimensions of your life now. I think that that's kind of a lot of times how my readings end up resonating with people, is that they apply to multiple dimensions that are going on in their life. So we'll see how this lands today, and thank you for being here. Thank Spirit for providing clear messages to this collective here that's with us. Thank you, guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, ascended masters, anyone who is here to provide clear messages for the highest good. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this clarity. Let's just take a deep breath in together. And then out. Just sort of clearing the mental chatter, clearing the thoughts. There's so much that you may be receiving at this time, whether it be feel like hits at your personhood, or it may feel like inspiration. It may feel like a little bit of both. And I was really asked recently upon waking to stop warring within myself, to stop this war within myself. So that may also be something that you feel is true for you. If you feel like you're sometimes at war within yourself, it's not quite the same as just an inner conflict, but but you'll know what I mean, I guess, if it resonates. So I'm just going to shuffle here a little, thanking the guides for clarity, for any messages that want to come through here tonight on this new moon. This Aquarius new moon, guidance for the season ahead, guidance for where our seeds will be planted in soil, fertile soil, for the year ahead. It was a new year as well. And the Chinese, Page of Wands kind of flipping here. Breathe with me here. I'm asking for clear messages. Thank you. If you're new, my name is Shelley, House of the Mystical Maven. I'm an integrative healing arts practitioner working to support healing in the world. The Eight of Swords popping out here. It's really interesting that I'm surprised at that, to be honest, that came out here, but it almost speaks to that warring within the self message, and then powerfully the death and rebirth card. So there's an expression of you that is wanting to be embodied, and you gotta stop telling yourself that it's not who you are, because it is. And really, the only way to see through this darkness that you feel is surrounding you is to actually embody the essence of who you know you are to be. This is a powerful combination together here, the Eight of Swords and the Transformation Death card. Something has got to go. It's like you're holding yourself back by the thoughts that you tie yourself to. You are actually wrapping yourself in truths, stories, words, phrases, indignations, the word is coming out. These things that you think are so powerful, but they're actually tying you down. It's tying you back. And this Page of Wands really wants to come out, because this Page of Wands wants a bit more freedom with their expression. It might seem a little bit childlike to others, but it's okay. You'll get more of a grasp on it eventually, but you have to begin begin expressing yourself, your story that you live. I feel like this is speaking to me actually right now, because I feel like I too kind of cloak my story to make it look maybe much easier or much better than it is or has been. And I think it's really time for us to start expressing our truth exactly as it is, as messy as it might be, as juvenile as it might seem, as unscripted or unpolished as it might seem, because I don't know. I don't need to say why, but that's just the message here, is that it's time to kind of, uncloak yourself from the hidden truths. You don't have to wrap yourself into a story that you think is reflecting a certain part of you for others. Don't do it for anyone else but you. Don't write tales, don't write stories, don't, for a while anyways. Maybe eventually it will get to that point where you can translate for others, but for now, let's just focus on expressing the self based on exactly where you are. And then that's kind of how you find it. That's how you find your sweet spot. But you have to kind of start somewhere. And the first step would be just to kind of take each one of these little threads that are tying you and begin to kind of follow it. Begin to trace it. Begin to trace it like a pathway that will start to free you. So if there's a thread around your third eye that's blocking you from seeing something about yourself, examine that. Like, sit in meditation and examine what is it that I believe about myself that I'm allowing to cover that space. 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 2 tens, and then the 4 of Wands. More Wands energy. So there is a lot of fire. There's a lot of fire, and there's also this need to kind of allow for some celebration and it might seem really hard for some people right now to do that, to say that. But it's really important. Letting go of some of the weight that you've been carrying with the 10 of Wands, burdens that you've been walking with. You might be holding weight for another. You might be carrying someone else's story. You might be weaving your own into someone else's, which gives more weight to you. The idea is to kind of like to untie some of these packages here, untie some of this weight, release it, so that you can continue moving forward with a little more ease. Maybe you've arrived somewhere, actually. Actually, I'm getting the energy that like you actually did arrive somewhere. Maybe even with your paintbrush in hand, sort of like with your tools. You expected, you didn't know what to expect, but this is what you had available with you, and it was a lot. It was a lot to carry. You're met with this 10 of Pentacles, or this is who's receiving your energy. Okay, so they're saying like, come, like set your bags down, come on in, we have plenty of space here, and this is where you can really begin to discover the beautiful imprint of who you are in the human family. They're really receiving you with warmth, whatever this kind of community might be. Could be family, could be could be your own family. Maybe you didn't see them for a while. I'm getting the energy that you're returning to a family, and they're really happy. They're really happy that you're back again. This seems really specific for someone, but if you sort of seemed, if you went through a bit of a transformation recently, and you hadn't returned home in a while, because you were afraid of how they might receive you in your expression of yourself, they're really happy that you're home. They really want you to come back. They're coming home would be very whole, would help you to feel a lot more whole into yourself. This is very specific for somebody, but you have some memories there and a part of you that no other environment can give, and you can take all of it with you there, and there'll be plenty of space to unpack it. It's not going to be all at once, but the picture of your wholeness is held there with honor, and that's really kind of potent. There when you get there, there's going to be like a celebration. Maybe you finished like a phase of life, like college, or maybe you finished a big trip somewhere. Maybe you went somewhere and maybe you didn't know when you were going to return. You kind of just went and didn't know when you would be back. And now it feels like time. It's time, and you're feeling that for a reason, because there's a part of you that is reflected in this environment that you can't find anywhere else, and you've been looking and you don't see it anymore anywhere else. So you're looking at yourself in the mirror and wondering where the rest of it is, and it's because these people are your family. That is really a very specific message. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you don't have to take it. 10 of Pentacles came out, and then the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. Underneath is the Queen of Wands. Thank you for these clear messages, Spirit. Thank you for your guidance. Just got a little bit of a chill. I'm going to put my long sleeve back on. Kind of go back and forth between hot and cold. Whoa. Okay, sorry. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. So when you get there, like, you actually have something that, so once you start kind of unpacking, it's like you have this abundance that you find. Like, you're at first in this 8 of Swords energy, and just, it's like you've exhausted the resources in yourself. Like it's like there's an empty feeling because you're missing the way that love reflects on you. And it's a really powerful initiation to say, okay, I'm going to kind of allow myself this process of transformation. This death rebirth card there's a power to it, but there's such vulnerability to allowing yourself to move through this type of energy, right? Because you just don't know. Imagine this cloak being actually um like, I don't want to say like the grim reaper, but perhaps, or perhaps even like, you know, the angel, the angel of death. Perhaps there is somebody actually who is going to guide you through this process. You might not ever see them, but there's an energy that is like, I know how to get you there, but you have to kind of trust me, right? You have to kind of trust me, and you'll come through the other side. But there's what they want to show you is the clarity. If you're receiving sudden clarity out of it, like you're in an environment and you're like, I don't know where these images are coming from. Suddenly, maybe you're receiving like dream insight about um, a message of where to go, or like someone to like reach out to. um these are actually like guidance from your angels, from this angel maybe specifically, who is trying to like move you through through a portal to the other side of where you can start to freely express yourself, um, because where you are now is trapping you. And it may not be that your environment is actually trapping you, but it may be that through the stories that are unresolved, you're trapping yourself, because you're creating a story um, based on assumptions. Okay, so you're gonna kind of have to pick up and sort of and walk the journey back home to where these folks, and I don't know, maybe you've never even really met them or seen them before, but you're going to know that this is your like kin. Trust, and there is a lot of trusting that has to happen. There's a celebration when you get there. And this Nine of Pentacles is you sort of unpacking your, I think it's about sort of like the resources you've collected along the way, that create abundance for those in your life. Um, and as you do that, it connects them with pieces of themselves. So like the Six of Cups is after the Nine of Pentacles. It's almost like what you have speaks to a part of them that also reminds them of their childhood, of the way it was, of some joy that is within their inner child. This could be a particular like project you're working on. Maybe you write children's stories, or maybe you do cartoon illustrations, or perhaps you, you know, write children's songs. Something that I'm just noticing the way that this dog character is in the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So this may actually have something to do with you're working with somebody's maybe memory. Maybe somebody has like, maybe part of your role there is to help them remember who they are too. So it becomes like you sharing yourself as you also allowing them to remember who they are. And it's a really sweet kind of energy because it's not taking anything from you, but it's blossoming. As you do this, you're blossoming, and then it's allowing them to heal. Maybe watching you, maybe they feel like they've missed a phase of your life and that saddens them. And so watching you do this helps them to kind of fill some of the gaps in from when they knew you. Maybe you're reuniting. Some of you may be reuniting with somebody like a father figure or a brother. I don't feel like it's a lover, although it could be, but maybe it is. Because there's a Four of Wands energy, which can sometimes mean like wedding or celebration. But I do, maybe you're returning for someone's wedding, and they see you and how you've blossomed, and it creates a nostalgia within them. There's a lot of different, like I said, kind of multidimensional sort of things playing out, many different timelines. But the energy that I'm getting is that, like, it's very healing for both of you because you have the space to unpack some of these things that are within you that you've never had the safety, maybe the feeling of safety within yourself or within your environment that you do now, which is really beautiful. There's this Five of Wands energy. It's interesting. There's Page of Wands and then Four of Wands and then Five of Wands in this kind of like future position. So there's this sense of kind of like struggling to figure out where the next inspiration is. And I think that's part of the Page energy, is like, because it's kind of, it feels rather new. There's this want to kind of go in many directions with the resources or with the energy or with what's possible. And I think that's exciting. It just, we don't want to fizzle out too much of that fire by, by like being too conflictive, like within ourselves. So there's that like warring with ourselves again. So if there's like a project you want to go forward with, or maybe it's a time to kind of like just say yes to it all. I don't know. I can't really I can't really fly like that, although I do still probably say yes to a lot more things than I can really take on. But I'm learning that about myself, and I think that's kind of what the Page of Wands too is like learning how to harness that creativity in a means that is fruitful and yet still not burning yourself out. So and then look at underneath the Queen of Wands. So this is the energy that we're working kind of like is at the base of the reading. So it is learning, it is mastering kind of the we've got this fire right here. It is mastering the element of fire, that creativity, that inspiration, that expression. Leo, Sag, Aries energy. So what kind of fire do you bring? Are you the bonfire? Are you the slow burn? Are you the are you the like flash pan, like how do you want your fire to burn? I think long and steady wins the race, right? Long and steady. So that's what I have for you today and this new moon, this Aquarius new moon. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that something in here uh, feels true for you that you can sort of ground with. And yeah, I really appreciate your time, energy, attention. Um, Check out the website www.houseofthemysticalmaven.com if you want to book any services, readings, energetic healing, etc. I've also added some packages for meditation sessions, so I'd really love to do some work with individuals who want to set up their own meditation. Um, and I have some ideas for the future I'm really excited about, and collaborations and whatnot. So, yeah, it's time that we express ourselves. Let's unplug those resources we have available within, and unplug from some of the distractions and the tyranny a little bit, so that we can start really tuning into our inner wisdom, the insights, the nuggets of gold that are there to be shared with our family, with our kin, our human family. So thank you all very much. I love you. Many blessings. Take care. Be well.